Hello everyone, welcome. To those who are new here, please don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment below if you have any questions. Before I start, I want to say Happy New Year to everyone. If you haven't seen my video on the New Year, please do so. And as promised, I will be making more videos about IELTS. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the comparison between IELTS and the PTE. So this video I will be sharing with you because I have taken the test, both IELTS Computer Based and the PTEs. In today's video, I'm gonna be sharing with you the differences between the two exams. So let's begin. So let's talk about the cost. I took my PTE and Computer Based IELTS exam here in Australia, and it cost me around $330 all up. So if you are from outside Australia, you can either ask on their website or you can convert $330 to your currency and find out how much would be the difference between IELTS exam or the PTE. Now let's compare how these tests are being delivered, or how do you take this exam. Let's start with PTE. PTE, this exam is taken on the computer in all sections, including the speaking test. So you will take this exam using a computer in all of the 4 sections of the test. Now let's compare on how IELTS is being delivered compared to PTE. As we all know, IELTS offers paper-based exam, and now just recently they offer computer-based IELTS exam. So in IELTS computer-based exam, the listening, reading, and writing section is taken through a computer, while the speaking test is still the same. It's a one-on-one interview with a person in a private room. So it's pretty much the same with the paper-based IELTS exam, where the speaking is a separate exam. You will be interviewed with general questions. Now let's proceed. How are these tests being scored, or what are the scoring system on these two exams? Now let's talk about the PTE. The PTE is mainly a computer exam, so it is basically scored by a computer itself. While IELTS computer-based, as usual, like the paper-based exam, it is being scored or marked by a person. Now let's talk about the waiting time of the release of the test results. Now let's start with PTE. I took my exam in the morning at 9 o'clock and I got my result the night when I get home around 10 o'clock in the evening. I got an email about my test result, and it is in a PDF form. They will send you an email and you will log into the website where you log in to book your test. While the IELTS computer-based, it took me around 3 to 4 days before I got my result. So the PTE is the least time waiting, while the IELTS is around 5 days is the most time to wait for the results to come out. So how long does this exams take to finish? Now let's begin with PTE. The PTE in the listening section, it will take you around 45 to 57 minutes, and that is the allocated time for you to finish that section. The reading section takes around 32 to 41 minutes. It will depend on how much passages you're gonna get, because it varies differently. It's not really specific like the IELTS computer-based. While in the speaking and writing, it is combined. The speaking section and the writing section are combined in this section. So it will take around 73 to 93 minutes all up. It also depends on how many essays you're gonna get. The most essay you're gonna get is around 3 essays, or yes, that 3 essays is the most. So based on my experience, I have 3 essays all up for 20 minutes to complete each. Now IELTS is pretty much specific with their timing, so let's begin with the listening test. In the listening test of the computer-based IELTS exam, you have 30 minutes to complete the listening section. Then after that, the computer will log out to the login screen, and the reading section will take you around 60 minutes all up. In the writing section, you will have 60 minutes also, which will include you to do task 1 for 20 minutes and task 2 for 40 minutes. And the speaking section is a separate part where you can do it in the same day or the next day, whatever time preference you want to do. And it's the same as the paper-based exam, the speaking test, because it will only take around 11 to 15 minutes all up, depends on the interviewer. Now let's take a look on how are these tests delivered, or how are the formats look like on these two tests. But before we start, the IELTS computer-based exam is pretty much the same with the paper-based. The only comparison or the only thing that is different is in computer-based you have to type your answers, but the test format is all the same. So let's have a look at the listening section of the IELTS computer-based exam. The same format with the paper-based. It has an audio that will be played only once. You will have to fill in the blanks, and there are also multiple choice questions. In the reading section, there are 3 passages to read. It's also the same as with the paper-based. The only difference is that you have to type your answers. There are multiple choice questions. There's true, false, not given, yes, no, not given questions, matching information, matching headings, matching features, matching sentence endings, sentence completion, and short answer questions. So it's all the same as the paper-based exam. Now let's proceed to the writing IELTS computer-based. In task 1, you will have 150 words to describe, summarize, and explain a graph or maps. In task 2, you have a minimum of 250 words, 1 essay in response to a point of view, argument, or a problem. The questions are opinion essay, discussion essay, 2-question essay, and or the cause and effect essay, and problem solutions essay. So when you compare it to PTE writing task, in PTE you will only have 20 minutes to write 1 essay, and sometimes you will get 2 or 3 essays in writing section in PTE. Now, when you compare the speaking test in IELTS computer-based to PTE, the speaking test in IELTS is done by one-on-one interview or a face-to-face interview with the examiner. The questions are the same as with the paper-based, and is also a general questions being asked. While the PTE is all included in the writing and speaking section in the first part of the test, which is done by the computer. Now let's take a look at what PTE looks like in the speaking section. In the speaking section, you will be facing the computer with a headset on, personal introduction. There will be an instruction in the computer. Then it comes in this order. The first section would be read aloud, repeat sentence, describe image, retell lecture, answer short question. In PTE writing, it is included in the first section, which is the speaking test. It is the last 2 tasks in the section, wherein you will summarize written text and an essay. Either you will get 1, 2, or 3 essays, but the questions is only like an argumentative questions. So that is all for the PTE writing section. In PTE reading section, you have passages to read, and then there are multiple choice answer questions where you have to put single answer. The next one is the multiple choice, but you have to select multiple answer. Reorder paragraphs, fill in the blanks. So it's pretty much the same with the IELTS computer based, but the time is limited, or the timing is, it will depend on how you manage your time in PTE. Last but not the least is the PTE listening section. This is the last section of the PTE exam, and the questions in this section include summarize spoken text, multiple choice, fill in the blanks, highlight correct summary, select missing word, highlight incorrect words, and write from dictation. So this is in order. This will be the order that will come out on the PTE exam, and this is the last section of the exam. So don't skip any questions. Try your best to answer all the questions from here, especially the write from dictation, because the scores will be in this section, and it is really important that you have to manage your time properly so you will not miss any questions on this task. So here you go, guys. I hope you learned something from this video, and if you want to ask me which one is easier, then I will be making another video on that, and I will be uploading it next time. So hopefully stay tuned for that one, and I will tell you which one is easier. Well, what's the differences? There you are. There you go. You have seen the videos on what are the differences between the PTE and the IELTS computer based exam. IELTS, academic IELTS, and the PTE are the ones that are acceptable here in Australia for immigration or any other purposes. So I've taken the PTE and IELTS too because I'm gonna be registering on AFRA, and I did pass the exam. So hopefully you learned something from here, and if you haven't subscribed yet, if you're new here, this is Michelle, and I'll see you again on my next vlog. So the only thing I can tell you is the practice, practice, and practice, and you will be successful with your exam. I'll see you again in my next vlog. Bye!